There we go. Oh man, what's up? Good evening. It's another Tuesday. It's officially time to talk music, talking hip hop again this week. Because hey, look, let's be real. That's my wheelhouse. I'm gonna try to make some room for some other albums, some other genres if I sincerely mess with them, because that is the other half of the battle, right? Want to make sure that I'm not just hopping on here defecating on every album that I don't like. I want to tell y'all about the albums that I actually do like, or just be critical about some of the albums that I have heard. Okay. We're going to get into that. You see the title, Redman, Muddy Waters 2. That's what we will be talking about today. But first and foremost, man, made in the 1980s. You see it in the corner? See it on my chest? That's what she said. Look, made in the 1980s, audio drops on Fridays, Friday mornings. Video drops on my YouTube channel Saturday mornings, 8:15. Much like I went live at 8:15 today. And I want y'all to gear up. I'm gonna do some promoting because technically we would be about 30 days out Thursday from what I got planned here. And I don't want to wait any longer. I don't want to sit on it any longer. That's what she said. And I want to get a chance here to really get some promotion behind this new push, this content push, this push to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Listen, long story shorter, going to be doing some giveaways, real tangible giveaways. My time, my effort, my Apple wallet, all of it will be compromised in an effort to grow this YouTube channel as well as connect with you, the community, the people that are watching the most and telling people to watch. A lot of creators, influencers, people of all kinds, all walks of life, they're taken from you, right? Like this, follow this, subscribe to that, and they don't really give you nothing but the opportunity to watch them flex as they have succeeded. I'm going to take a different route, okay? The route I'm going to take is gratitude. Try to give you as many thank yous as possible for subscribing to the channel. And I think I got some cool stuff on the way. And it won't just end in February. We're going to do this all year. We'll just be picking out different things to do. And hey, until I hit my goal, we won't be moving forward. So let's make this happen and make this special for the both of us. Now that that's out the way, even though we're going to talk Redman, Muddy Waters 2 today, I do want to say that there's an album for about a week or two now. I've been randomly thinking about the songs in my head. I thought I had purchased this album 2 or 3 years ago, but I did not. So I righted that wrong. I corrected that wrong and bought a digital download copy today. I will buy a physical if one does exist of it. I just want to show them some love to Stove God Cooks and his album Reasonable Drought. It's almost 5 years old, man, and I got a take. Might be a scorching hot take, might be a take that if you know, and you appreciate it, and we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out for sure. But in the meantime, man, I would just encourage you listen to it. If you haven't, a review is coming. It's gonna be coming in March because that is going to be the month of the 5-year anniversary of Stove God Cooks Reasonable Drought. I have a lot to say about that album. Obviously, that album came out during the pandemic, so it's a lot. I didn't even have this idea then at all. So I want to talk about it. We're going to revisit. That's the thing. That's what I'm going to use these Tuesdays for and these lives for. We're going to talk about music, man. Support what you love instead of bashing what you hate. And what better way to do that than maybe putting y'all up on some music that you probably never heard before, or some artists you may not be aware of. Since I don't believe he's gold or platinum, that means there's plenty of people out there that can definitely get their ears around this. And hopefully, when I do the live on this album, it resonates as such. Matter of fact, what I want to do really quickly before we get into this Redman, I want to see when the anniversary date, what day it falls on. Oh, that's actually a Thursday. Okay. Okay. So I might do an extra live, do an album anniversary, and then do an album review same week. March 2025. We'll do it. We'll do it. All right. Now, let's really start the show. Redman, Muddy Waters 2. What I want to say off the rip, Redman is one of my favorite rappers ever. Got him extremely high on my list. Everybody is everybody can't be top 5. Somebody gotta be 6, somebody gotta be 11, somebody gotta be 33, right? If I was keeping it real about all the music that I've purchased over the years, all the music that I truly love, and just the moments in hip hop that matter to me, there's probably not a world where I can keep Redman out of my top 10. But I'm going to be safe here and say that he's definitely in the top 15 for me. For me. And I think there's a lot of underrated things that Redman has brought to the game, or at least did it the best. So he may get overlooked. He may get overlooked because, maybe the numbers aren't what we expect or what they should be. He's had a couple breakaway hits though. Can't take that away from him. And I want to say I got on here a few weeks ago, I want to say, and I was talking about how sequels, I'm kind of decent on them, right? Like, I'm not the biggest fan of part 2s and sequels. I don't think many part 2 albums in general have stacked up to what they were supposed to be, or as they live up to the first one. Very few come to mind as being great. I think there's only a handful that truly rival its predecessor. I got Only Built for Cuban Links 2 on that list as the number 1, actually. I think that is the best sequel album ever. We can talk about that at a later time because we're talking about Redman today. King's Disease 2. I wouldn't be mad at that one being in there. I'm not. Illmatic and Stillmatic are kind of they're 2 different worlds of albums. So I'm not really sure how I feel about comparing the one to the other. But that's kind of where it stops for me. And I get, like, for example, I get what Busta Rhymes was trying to do with Extinction Level Event 2, but it didn't do it, man. It didn't do it. Overall, it's a dope album. I think there's a lot of great moments in that album, but no. I don't want to start defecating on other people's albums. So let me just say, man, look, the list is short. A lot of people that you drop your part 2, your number 2 or whatever, I didn't feel it. It wasn't what you thought it was. And that's okay. So needless to say, Muddy Waters 2, I was trying to shoot at all the bail in the world because, well, I was like, well, it's not, 2, it's like TOO, so it's also. But and I think even with saying that, I think that's the perfect explanation for this album. The highly anticipated album too. This was highly anticipated for the people that truly love Redman. I don't know who follows him on social media, but he was on Instagram going crazy. Him and Jack Boy Beats, they were doing some incredible work. And I won't lie, man, that had me in a whirlwind. I couldn't wait to hear what Muddy Waters 2 was sounding like just based off of how he was rapping on those Jack Boy beats. I'm a big Redman fan. So as I say that, we're still going to keep it real in this album. We're going to keep it very real in this album. And the realest thing I could say about Muddy Waters 2 is that it's good. It's good. It's a good album. What I've learned from this is that Redman is grown. Redman is happy. And he's just trying to have a good time with hip hop. And I think that's okay. That's okay. You know, I obviously, comparison is the thief of joy, but how can you not compare? But I want to say the first time and a half I listened to this album, I took a break from it, put my Tidal on shuffle because yes, the music sounds better on Tidal. And I think, welcome from the first Muddy Waters album came on. And man, that sent a shockwave through me because I was like, yo, this is who I want to hear. This is who I want to hear right here. And it's not a bad thing because often, especially in hip hop, we don't like our artists to grow. We don't like for our artists to evolve and have a different perspective on life and deliver a different kind of content or a different kind of product than what we are used to getting from them. So I had to be careful on the first listen of this album because it just didn't sound like the Redman that I personally grew to know and love. This is not what the album. This is not There Is a Dark Side. This isn't Muddy Waters, Docs the Name 2000. This isn't Malpractice, and for good reason. But this also isn't Red's Gone Wild either. So with that, I tried to reset. Because Cam, you're an adult now. You and Redman both grown as hell. So, bro, you can't expect what you got before. But then at the same time, though, man, I'm listening to him on those Jack Boy beats. I'm like, are you sure I shouldn't expect that? Because he's going crazy on that Whose World, The World Is Yours. He's going crazy on that. But I listened to it again. Listened to it, I think 2 more times, even today. And yeah, I stand by my stance. The album is good. The album is good. So let's break down this good album, right? I'm gonna say this off top. The one thing that disappointed me about this album is that it didn't really come on with the firepower that I normally expect a Redman album to come on with. Usually within the first 3 tracks, you are mind blown by the beat selection, the rhyming, and usually like one of the singles or a song that is single worthy has come on. By the time you got to track 4 or 5, like you've been banged over the head, like with just heat on the typical Redman album. I don't think too many of his albums in his catalog have made that misstep, right? And this one just kind of comes on and it's taking a stance that I didn't expect from Redman. He's taking on the stance of, I still got it. And as I look over my personal mental Rolodex of rap and my life and time, and I am sitting here thinking about just Redman's career and who he is and who he is recognized as and the people that acknowledge him. And y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think anybody ever in any year of hip hop has thought that Redman ever lost it. I've never heard that. I've never heard, man. I don't know if Red got it. I don't know if Reggie still get busy. And it was almost like maybe he's dealing with his own self-doubt. And that's why I want to be careful with how I review and critique this album. Because I do want to be crystal clear, it's not a bad album. It just wasn't the Redman I was expecting. I wasn't expecting so much, I guess, maturity and party vibes, if that makes sense to those of you that have heard it or maybe have not heard it yet. I didn't expect so much grown up maturity party vibes, and I wasn't sure how to take that from the beginning, because I wasn't a big fan of Let's Get Dirty. or the song with Christina Aguilera, even though video fire, but that wasn't really my bag. You dig what I'm saying? So for me, I'm like, still got it. I'm like, bro, I've never doubted you for a minute. Never ever. Even when I heard Malpractice and was like, I don't think this one is it. Or even when I heard Red's Gone Wild and I was like, oh, well, we took a little minute to get out the gate, but this ain't bad. My man Wang just checked in. This is actually a good question. Was he trying to prove to me that he still got it, trying to prove that he still got it, or did he just want to prove he still had it? See, I think he does that without telling me. Listen to the Jack Boy beats with him on The World Is Yours. 2 bars in, he got it. 2 bars in. That fool said, what did he say? I'm in the crib watching New Jack City and laughing how Nino took the dagger in his hand and stabbed it. And like whatever, hey, he's going crazy on that. And that's what I want to hear on this album. And unfortunately, I did not get that. And even though I didn't get it, I think for the first time, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, I think this is the first time that we got, dare I say, a mixtape freestyle Redman and then an album mode Redman, which the line has always been blurred on that, if you're asking me. I never even knew that was a thing. It's almost like he made some of this music for some of the naysayers that, that, oh, I never hear Redman in the club. Yeah, you heard the Rock Wilder. That's enough. If a lot of DJs were savvier or cooler, they would play Pick It Up. They would play Whatever Man. They would play I'll Be That. There's some other joints. I mean, you could play The Goodness. I think I've heard that in the club a couple times. Growing up, coming of age. The other thing that I was kind of disappointed in, no, not even kind of, hugely disappointed in this. There was no track. There was no track with the Def Squad. That's right. There is no Eric Sermon or Keith Murray rap feature on this album. And that's where my heartbreak begins. Def Squad is one of my favorite crews in hip hop ever. I love Eric Sermon, Redman, and Keith Murray individually and collectively. Some of my favorite songs are when a combination of the two of them are together, or all three, or when Eric Sermon is just producing for Redman and Keith Murray. I still have my copy of Death Squad El Nino, the album, to this day, and I think that album is fire. And man, I do not like the fact that there is no Death Squad. You know what I'm saying? That's heartbreak. Not getting Death Squad on one track, one. You know, that's bad enough. But then on top of that, there's one uno Eric Summer produced track. I hate that. I'm sorry. Eric Sermon, he produced Don't You Miss too, by the way, on this album. But that's the only song. And it's another, again, it's a good song, but it's kind of like, again, man, you're trying to, like, here's a beef I have with some of the legends we've grown to know and love. A lot of them are trying to tell us that they're old, show us that they're old, and that they, quote, still got it. I don't need the generational gap rap. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm going to I don't need it. I don't want it. You know, rap for the people that are here for you. Because when you look back at a lot of people's careers, you know, they built their brand of being young and rebellious and not caring who listened to what. Now we're getting older, and now too many of the people that didn't care before absolutely care now. I don't know how I feel about that. Yo, hey, listen, Wang, because I know what you mean. But I do want to point this out to y'all, and I don't know when they shot it, but the same year Def Squad did that cypher was the same year Keith Murray was like out on the streets, high as a kite out of his mind. That was the same year, and I think that happened weeks apart. So, hey, listen, I've watched Keith Murray go to the Breakfast Club, be totally coherent, gave a great interview, an amazing off the cuff freestyle, off the dome freestyle, and then show up like the drunken master to battle Fredro Star of Onyx and look like a total shit show. What I'm saying about that is, you just need Keith Murray sober for 60 minutes and you're going to get gold. You're going to get gold. I can't explain it. Not going to try to. But if you call Keith Murray on the right day, you're getting a dope verse. Look at their BET cypher. He smoked that. He smoked that. Can't deny it. So I always want to hear Eric Sermon, Redman, and Keith Murray. I just want to hear it. They're my locks, you know, before the locks for me. If there's one trio I always want to hear together and got to hear together, it's those three at least once. And I mean, hey, not for nothing. Hey, look, Chic, Lucha, and Redman are on the track. It's one of the better tracks on the album. And we'll talk about some of the tracks I actually dig and I actually mess with. But man, you know, again, only one Eric Sermon track. No disrespect to Rock Wilder. He produces the majority of this album. And I just wanted more. I just wanted more from that production. I mean, I get that potentially the biggest hit ever made by Redman and Red and Meth. Well, no, not by Meth. Meth, All I Need is definitely bigger than this. But the biggest single that Redman has is probably produced by Rock Wilder. But this sound throughout the album, it just didn't really hit for me. It didn't tap in. I don't think it pushed Redman's creativity enough. If I'm just being honest, I don't think the production pushed him enough on this. And that's what I was so used to with Eric Sermon's production, along with putting him in a very gritty pocket that, there is a certain sound that and a certain tempo that Eric Sermon puts together that puts Redman in an unbelievable pocket. It makes his style so unorthodox, but the bars hit so much harder when Eric Sermon does this. To just get what I'm saying, just listen to the first Muddy Waters. Just listen to what the album to Doc's the Name 2000, and you'll hear exactly what I'm talking about. There's just something about Eric Sermon just knowing exactly what beat to put Redman on that makes it just a magical relationship. And again, respect to Rock Wilder. I don't mean any disrespect by that, but I just wish it was more pushing the envelope production wise, creativity. Dare I say, it was very reminiscent of the rockbeats.com beat pack, where like a lot of beats kind of sound the same. So you pick the best out of those beats. And I'm not hating. I bought beats. I put together like 2 or 3 mixtapes off of rockbeats.com. So I'm not hating at all. I'm just saying that was also 2005, 2006. Just saying. Method Man. Let's talk Method Man. Method Man, the last 3 years, has been one of the greatest rappers alive. Again. And I think even now more convincing than ever. Red and Meth come together for one track on this album, La La La. And man, can't front. Felt like they mailed that in a little bit. This ain't the dude that showed up on Lemon. This ain't the dude that showed up on those Busta Rhymes features, Conway features, Westside Gun features. 38 Special. Like, I don't know, man. I was trying. I was anticipating a body on this. Hey, Meth and Ghostface just put out a joint. They got a joint that was on Ghostface album last year, and he's going insane. And dare I say, there's not too many times where Method Man has out-rapped Ghostface if we keeping it real. He got him that time, though. And even though, obviously these two are the best of friends, they're brothers, and they smoke together, and they made another song about smoking, and I'm not tripping on that. I'm not tripping off the content or the subject matter. That's the one thing I'm not going to go too hard on, because hey, I just like hearing Redman rap. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like to do. I just like to hear him rap. So he's one of the few rappers that are that high on my list and ain't really got no song that I can apply to my life. So, I give that somewhat a pass. But man, I felt La 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 missed. That missed the mark. With the run that Meth has been on and the beats he's been on, lackluster, little let down. Can't front. Hey, Method Man was filming Power when he mailed that in. Yikes. Oh man. man, let's move on. You know, let's before because I do want to get to some positives. We're gonna close with some positivities too. Um, yo, okay, this goes without saying. If you whether you listen to it one time or not, hey, look, this album is long as hell. This album is long AF, right? 1 hour and 21 minutes to be exact, 32 tracks. And in that, you only got like 4 skits. So he did 20 something songs. He literally did 20 some odd songs. And My Weed's Been Taken is the best skit. It's funny. But man, this is a lot of music to decipher through. And this is longer than the average long Redman album because Redman is an artist with skits, of course. He's averaging, I think, 17 to 20 tracks per project. So, for this to be at 32, that's a lot, fam. That's a lot. And this does the way the album flows and the way it moves, it really does take you the day to get through it. This is why this is the epitome of you can't review this after a first listen. It's just impossible. You're not gonna get your point across. You're not gonna digest the information and the content correctly if you're trying to listen to this one time and then come and talk about it at damn near an hour and a half on one listen. No, bro, it's impossible. I had to listen to this album in 2 parts. I had to. There was no way around it. So with that said, for me, you can start this album between Hood Star and I'm on That Bullshit. So between tracks 11 to 13, I kind of feel this is where the album starts for me. The first half of this album, it just didn't hit for me. It's some good just textbook rapping, right? It's good textbook rapping. And again, I don't love a lot of the beat selections in this first part. You know, Uncle Quilly's back. We love Uncle Quilly, but you know, it's a lot to cipher through when you are talking about 32 songs, one album, 1 hour and 21 minutes, and some change. And some change. That's not a hard stop either at the daggone at the 121. It was on 4 seconds. So maybe, you know, if you breathe a little bit, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. We got a new visitor here. Let me see here. 32 songs. I don't even listen to all of Chris Brown's songs when his albums are that long. Hey, and see, and that's a good point because I know how much you specifically adore Chris Brown, Rhea. So, yeah, even for the people that sincerely love Redman, that is me. This was a lot to go through. And with only 4 skits, you really want me to listen to 28 songs. That is asking a lot. And that is asking a lot when the subject matter is really narrow. There's not, see, some people can get away with making long albums depending on the content. Are there highs and lows? Is there a cinematic element? Are you taking me on a journey? Are you telling me a story? And like, unfortunately, a lot of Redman albums, matter of fact, let's just keep it a buck. Redman's catalog does not embody that. Redman is the ultimate, like, street corner cipher specialist. He could be the dude rhyming in the other room at the party. But we all know, no matter how high you are, no matter how many drinks you're having, eventually you're going to leave the dude rapping by the speakers to go get on some hoes. You're just going to do that. So with that said, I don't want to hear anybody rapping 28 times in one setting. I don't. I'm a Nas fan. Everybody that knows me, if they don't know me by now, they know Nas is my favorite rapper ever. Outside of Street's Disciple, you will not find a Nas album that has 15, 20, 25, 30 tracks. He gets his point across in 12 to 14. If you've seen one longer, they're bonus tracks. That's the only time you've seen it, because I want some of y'all gonna be like, "Well, Life is Good had like 17 tracks, I believe." I'm like, "Yeah, but 3 of those were just Lucy's. He threw it on the end." Remember, he flipped the same beat twice for 2 different albums. Only Nas. Oh man, but yeah, man, this is long as fuck, son. And this was a lot to decipher. It's a lot to digest, but then at the same time, it's not. I think you can deal with the first half of this album. So look, if I'm taking off 11, 12 tracks, that does bring us down to 20, which is where Redman's usual like average is, I want to say. And I'm keeping Hoodstar because of Faith Evans and Kid Capri. And I'm going to explain why that's important as I explain what I think this album really is about. And I think there might be something missing here. And I want to connect the dot if possible. As soon as I check out, okay, yo, he's not from there. Okay. Beautiful. That's still fine. So look, here's the other thing. Here's my other thought, my other theory on this. Muddy Waters 2 is an ode to Jersey, New Jersey, one of the more overlooked cities as far as hip hop goes, one of the city with probably some of the most underrated rappers. And I think from the MCs selected to feature on this to even the sound with that whole Jersey dance, Jersey house sound being used throughout this album. I think this was just his way of saying, hey, Jersey, I love you. I'm here. And let me put on for y'all. This album sounds like Redman's throwing a house party, and he's going to rock the mic during this house party. Again, these are not bad things. It's just not what I came to hear when I heard Muddy Waters 2 was dropping. He could have called this album Brick City, and I probably have a whole different perspective on this album. But because he called it Muddy Waters 2, and I remember bars like, most MCs are terrible, unbearable, couldn't get stupid if you was like cerebral. Because I remember things like that on this album, I'm offended almost that he called this Muddy Waters 2. It should just be called Brick City, or it should be called Jersey, or Big Jersey, or whatever, because the sound of this album screams Jersey. So I'm sure, maybe, I could be wrong, if somebody from New Jersey or just in that tri-state area, if y'all hear this album, let me know, is this going up where y'all are? I could see that being a thing where it's like, yo, no, but he putting on for Jersey. This shit is hot. I could see people saying that, and I'm not mad at that at all. I just want to know for sure, because sometimes you got to know who the music is for. Sometimes some regional sounds get too regional. Just like, like for instance, y'all love DJ Cashmere, but y'all only play Percolator. Y'all don't be playing Wet Dreams. That I ain't fucked all week. I ain't fucked all week. That was my joint. And I wasn't even using my wiener at that point. But y'all only know like one DJ Cashmere song. Y'all know Percolator. Y'all don't know the rest of the joints because he got some joints. But that's Chicago house. A lot of Chicago house is not for the mainstream. That's why there is Jersey house and whatever derivative it is in California. Because I don't want to place the wrong credit if it's the Bay or if it's LA. I don't know. So I'm going to do my due diligence to figure out where their house sound comes from out there as well. But all in all, though, this album is very upbeat. It's got a very positive tempo. Yeah, he do bring it around and he get on this rap-ish. He does, but for the most part, this is a Jersey house party. This is a Jersey house party album, and for me, it starts at the second half. But even with that, right? Let's talk about the track listing. Let's go through some of the tracks because with there being so many in the clip, you got like at least 5, right? I told y'all I'm on that BS is where I felt around where the album starts. That's one of my favorite joints on here. Dynamite. I want to say Dynamite is the joint with a Chic Luch on there. I sincerely mess with that. Goofy with this young lady, Key Turner. I like that one. She's going crazy on that. If you want to catch a cool upgraded women's empowerment rap, she got that for you. I think that was dope. Goofy, that's the song that she's on. Oh, hey, Kush with Snoop Dogg. Again, hey man, I mean, are the weed songs really missing when Redman is on them? Well, yeah, kind of the one earlier in the album, but sorry, that's just how I personally feel. And hey, look, nothing screams Jersey. I just want to take it back to this album, like Light It Up, where they literally every rapper from New Jersey except Lauryn Hill and Joe Budden are on this album or on this song. Like even Shaq is on this one. Shaq, Queen Latifah, Naughty by Nature, Rod Digger, just to name a few. And that's literally a few because it's some more people on here. Oh my man, Lords of the Underground. So Mr. Funky and Do It All are on here. Heather B is on here. I ain't heard Heather B rap in a decade. Nikki D is on here. I didn't even realize that was her. Lady Luck, Channel Live, who I didn't know they were from New Jersey. I just assumed they were from the Bronx. He shot the KRS-One for putting them on, some Jersey cats on. And Artifacts. I thought the Artifacts were from LA. Look at me being educated. I really thought the Artifacts were from LA for some reason. Yeah, I felt like them in the Far Side. We're both LA, but yes. So literally, you got the entire Jersey minus Lauryn Hill and Joe Budden on this one track. 5 minutes and some change, I believe, too. I love Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah is in my top 5 for women. Missy and Queen Latifah will never be replaced. Don't ever make me try. Superman Lover 7. So, first time in ever that the Superman Lover song was split into 3 parts. The skit, I don't know. But the Superman Lover, ironically, the minute and 41 second piece is my favorite part. But I love the Superman Lover series. I do think it's one of the greatest stories in hip hop ever told. You know what I'm saying? But again, man, you calling it Muddy Waters 2, dogs. I want you to be aware that Redman said in 1996 on the original Muddy Waters, Superman Lover 3, he said, "You damn right, they had to ban me from eating pussy all night. WWF and bitches, slamming them in the rope like Shawn Mike. I can't be touched, bitch. I disco and kryptonite." Come on, dog. He's not rhyming like that on this. You got to be careful with how you label your daggone songs, man, and your albums as well. Rhea says she's going to check out the album. That's awesome. Check it out, though, honestly, sincerely. Oh, hey, look at here with KRS-One. Actually, a dope joint. And you know what? KRS-One is good for a good feature. He's ready for a good hip hop feature. What they talking about and Why You Mad? I think 2 underrated joints on the album. I don't know these gentlemen, but on Why You Mad, it might be Runt Dog or Mr. Cream. I don't know. One of them, whoever went last, smoked that. they both got busy, but one of them smoked that record. And yeah, so even with that, look, it's 32 songs. I gave you a good 10 worth listening to. And that's how it should be. You know what I'm saying? That's still 1/3 of the album if you're nitpicking. So, But again, I think this is the ode to Jersey. I think this is just Redman being, again, grown, happy, and just trying to have a good time with some hip hop. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but it's not the greatest thing. And it's not the greatness I want to hear from Redman. It's just not. Yeah, hey, Rod Jigga. Hey, listen, I got Harriet Tubman. You know what I'm saying? Dirty Harriet, you dig? Rod Jigga's dope. Always has been. If I had to give this album a score out of 5, and I'm being very critical yet sticking to my script, and I do have a bar. There's a bar for this decade. There's a bar for this year. And I got to give this album a 3 out of 5. Now, 3 out of 5 means that overall you should enjoy it. It means it's dope. It's good. It's cool. It's a good album. And I don't think anybody can deny that. But whether you heard it or not, some heat came out. I can't give this album a 3.5 or a 4 or something like that when Snoop dropped Missionary and it sounds like that. Snoop dropped the best OG album of 2024 with respect to LL Cool J, which I think I had him at like a 3.5 or a 4 because I was so impressed by the way he specifically chose to tackle content and show a different layer to his catalog. Again, y'all know how I felt about Westside Gunn's Still Praying. And not for nothing, Redman's a much better rapper than Westside Gunn, but the album he put together was better. Tyler, the Creator, Chromacopia, I gave it a 4, I think. 3.5, 4. I'm just trying to be in line. And when I stack it up to the albums, whether it's the people of his era, in this era, or wherever, just rap album to rap album, this is a 3. 32 tracks. I can't do better than a 3 for 32 tracks, 4 skits, 28 actual songs, I believe. That some of them are dope. Some of them I could have dealt without them. If you like skits, hey, look, Avion Crockett does the Obama stick up skit. Again, good skit, but here's my final thought on this album, and I'll let y'all go. My final thought on this album is that I'm not going to say that there was no effort, but I would like to know what the passion to create it was. Because Redman doesn't sound like he's trying to be the nicest MC anymore. And what does the artist that you could tell rap with trying to be the nicest MC? What is their motivation as they grow and mature? Like, what is their motivation? I would love to know Redman's motivation for creating this album. Because unfortunately for me, the mindset of I still got it, that wasn't for me, dog. I never thought you lost it. Redman, you are one of the greatest MCs in the world to me. You have one of my favorite catalogs in hip hop, some of my favorite songs, some of my favorite verses, some of my favorite quotables. I never for a second doubt your ability to rhyme, but I would like you to get that fire back to be like, no, I'm the best dude doing it. And I want to hear what that album sounds like. That's going to do it for me, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I definitely and greatly appreciate all of you. Once again, Made in the 1980s, the podcast. You make sure you check it out. Make sure you buy some merch or subscribe to the channel, because I'm pretty sure in one of my tiers, I'm giving some away. That's right. I'm going to be shipping merch to your house free of charge. Don't worry. No creeper, no predator won't show up at your door unless I'm trying to do some J. Cole promo stuff and you're asking for it. However, that's going to do it for me, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Check out Muddy Waters 2 by Redman. And always and consensually. Slav.